Recorded Books and RB Digital present Foxmask by Juliet Marillier, narrated by Saskia Malaveld. Chapter 1. Excerpt from letter reads, "If anyone can understand, it will be you. I have always respected your intellect. I had so much to offer here. I could have achieved great things, and in time all would have thanked me for it. Yes, even the wolfskin. That he has been the one to wrench the possibility from my grasp is bitter indeed." The day Thorvald's mother gave him the letter, everything changed. Cray was weaving, hands busy on the loom, shuttle flying, a fine web of blue and crimson unfolding before her in perfect pattern, testimony to the skills Aunt Margaret had taught her. So industrious was she, and so quiet, that it seemed she'd been forgotten. The bestowal of such a perilous gift as that letter was surely best suited to a moment of complete privacy. Aunt Margaret spoke to her son quietly in the long room before the hearth. Cray could see them through the doorway from the weaving chamber. They did not argue. Voices were seldom raised in this most orderly of households. But Cray heard the front door slam open, and she saw Thorvald go down the 3 steps in a single stride, then vanish across the yard and out over the spring fields as if hunted by demons. She saw the bloodless, driven look on his face, and although she did not know it at the time, that was the moment Thorvald's life, and her own, took a twist and a turn and set off in an entirely different path. Cray knew Thorvald better than anyone. They had been childhood playmates, and they were fast friends. Thorvald had few friends. The fingers of one hand would be more than enough to count them. There were perhaps only 2 to whom he ever spoke freely, and whom he allowed close. Herself and Sam, the fisherman on whose boat Thorvald sometimes helped. As for Cray, she understood Thorvald well. His black moods, his lengthy silences, his sudden, brilliant schemes, and his rare times of openness. She loved him for all his faults. In her mind there was no doubt that one day they would marry. He wasn't a real cousin, just as Margaret wasn't a real aunt. The tie was one of old friendship, not kinship. If Thorvald hadn't seen yet that he and Cray were destined to be together forever, he'd realize sometime. It was just a matter of waiting. The shuttle slowed to a stop. Cray stood gazing out the doorway across a landscape dotted with sheep, new lambs at foot. From Aunt Margaret's house you could see all the way to the western ocean, where stark cliffs marked the margin of land and sea. Far off now, there was the small dark figure of Thorvald, running away. Cray had seen a terrible change in his eyes. "Finished?" Cray jumped. Margaret had come up beside her without a sound. "No, but maybe I should go home. Father's due back from Sandy Island, and I should be helping." Cray fell silent. Aunt Margaret had tears in her eyes. Such a phenomenon was astounding. Her aunt was a model of propriety and restraint. She never lost control. This household, run by Margaret's longtime retainer, Ash, but ordered by Margaret herself, operated to a strict routine with little allowance for errors. This approach was reflected in Margaret's own appearance. She was a handsome woman of around 36, her hair a rich auburn, plaited neatly and pinned up under a snowy lace cap. Her linen gown was ironed to immaculate pleats, her woolen overdress fastened with twin brooches of patterned silver, polished to a moon-bright shine. She bore the accoutrements of a good housewife, knife, scissors, and keys hanging from a chain. Margaret was capable. Some found her intimidating. She had never remarried after her husband died in the very first year of Norse settlement here in the Light Isles, before Thorvald was born.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.